my name is Beck and welcome to the New Year's book tag. I have put all of the questions in the description if you want to do this tag as well, but let's get into it. It's very short. So question number 1 is, how many books do you want to get to in 2021? Usually I set my goal to 100. If you're new to my channel, then I always set my goal to 100. I don't always have realistic expectations of meeting that, but if I set it high, then I try and motivate myself to get there. So optimistically, I want to read 100. Realistically, probably won't get to there, but that's okay. I always aim for it anyway. Question number 2 is, name 5 books that you didn't get to in 2020 and so you want to get to them in 2021. And I actually smashed my to be read pile and I got it down to 0. So anything new in my book haul that I will share or link or whatever is what I want to read. So I anticipate there's going to be more than 5 books, but maybe I'll spotlight a couple so that you can get an idea. So one of them is the next book in the Witcher series. It's called Blood of Elves. It's the first novel-length book that follows Geralt the Witcher, and Geralt is not human. He's been kind of spliced with magic, and so he basically lives forever. He's infertile and he fights monsters that attack people. But the real message of the series is, are people the actual monsters? Just because they're so isolating and they're so xenophobic. And so I like that kind of thing in books, and I like a fairly apathetic main character with kind of a heart of gold who wants to help the good things in life. So hopefully I end up liking the rest of the Witcher series. Another one which I've been banging on about in so many other videos is The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. This is the second Wheel of Time book, and I'm wanting to get into the series this year, and I won't talk about this anymore because I've talked about it a bunch of other places already. Next is The 12 by Justin Cronin. This is the second book in the quartet of The Passage, and it's a vampire zombie apocalypse book series. It started off as really horror focused and then it did a time skip into the vampire apocalypse, and I'm all for that because I love apocalyptic books. So those are 3, and that's all I'm going to leave this question on. Question number 3 is, what is a genre that you want to read more of? And I said this in my goals video, but I want to read more science fiction this year. Let me know some classic sci-fi or some sci-fi that you really love, because I have a few new authors like Becky Chambers, for example, that I'm loving at the moment, and I'm also reading The Expanse and I'm really enjoying that, and I plan to continue. But as for newer sci-fi, I'm not really up with all of the trends. I know Sylvain Neuvel is an author that I really like, so he's going to be someone that I pursue as well, but that's only 3 new sci-fi authors, and I feel like there's a lot more at my fingertips than that. So give me some recommendations. Some older stuff that I want to get into is Isaac Asimov and also Dune as well. Question number 4 is, name 3 unrelated goals to reading, and I talked about these in my reading goals video already. I want to do more writing, I want to post 3 videos a week and do more reviews, and I also want to do some more digital drawing, and I have no idea where to start on the writing and drawing, but I want to try anyway, and if I say it, then maybe I'll hold myself accountable. But we don't know what this year is going to look like, so we'll just see what happens. Question number 5 is, what is a book that you've had forever and that you still need to read? And I don't have any more books like that because I got my TBR to 0. However, I did start reading MODOK, and this is by Ralph Halfer. I read it on audiobook and I got about halfway through, but it's a memoir about a circus elephant. This baby elephant named MODOK, she is born on the same day that this young boy is, and so they naturally go through life together, and it's a real fight for them to do that because certain forces are ripping them apart, etc., etc. It wouldn't be a story about an animal without some tragedy thrown in, and while I like stories like that because of the emotional bonds it creates with its characters and the people involved, it just wasn't a book that held my attention and made me want to go back to it and keep reading it. And so because I have been gifted that by my grandparents and it's got their writing in it, I'm keeping the book, but I didn't finish it. So maybe that counts as a book that I eventually want to read that's on my TBR, but it's not one that I'm going to prioritize or anything. I just want to read it when it feels right to read it. And so I'm aware of it, but I'm not pressuring myself to get to it because it's on my to be read pile. So MODOK probably counts, but it's not one that I want to hold myself accountable for or anything. Another one that is more relevant is The Bone Witch, because I got that physically, all of the books in that trilogy, and then I read The Bone Witch and let the other 2 books slide, and now I have all of them on audiobook, and I'm hoping to read those this year. I have no idea when, but Audible did a cool sale, and now I have all 3 books. So hopefully I can listen to those soon. But if you don't see them in a TBR, feel free to bully me. And then the final question, number 6 in this reading tag, is, how do you hope your 2021 will be? Like, describe it in one word. And I hope it to be successful or productive, happy, There are so many words and adjectives I could use to describe, but after 2020, which we won't talk about, I'm hoping that this year is going to be different. It might not be different in situation because there's still a pandemic, but I imagine it will be a little bit different in terms of attitude because we're starting fresh, we can do this, and we have goals and motivations to set and achieve, at least at the start of this year. Let's see how we go. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. But there you go, that is the New Year book tag. Thank you for tuning in. Chat to me down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.